Exclusive! Nijisanji English VTuber speaks out against Niji Liver. I want to see what's going on.
Arcadia.
It might have nothing to do with the whole final situation, but just this popped up today. And you know me. Y'all know me. Nijisanji. I have been I've been a pretty stubborn critic for the way that they treated Dokibird. And so now that I'm hearing that they may be getting called out once again, I'm kind of excited to see what the frick they're doing. I kind of, gotta get some popcorn here. Gotta get my little lawn chair out. Rubberneck a little bit, just like, oh, what's that? Oh, what's that? Oh, Nijisanji having a bad time? Oh, damn. Oh, no. I gotta see. I gotta have a quick little look. Make an excuse. I'm gonna go out for ice cream or something. But we're trying to see what's the fuss about. What's happening
out
here?
It's taken a turn for the worst. That as today we return to the
Oh no! Woe is Niji!
Vtuber agency Nijisanji English, and more specifically, one of their hired talents, that being the Nijisanji English liver Aster Arcadia. Warning, this episode does dive into very serious subjects, and we have kept this episode unmonetized. Our thanks go out to our viewers for any likes and comments on this video, along with sharing it as they see fit, as this is perhaps one of our most important episodes ever. This regarding a number...
Oh, damn. You really had to... Maybe I should have... I didn't know it was going to get that serious. Okay.
Of allegations and accusations against Aster Arcadia, some of which date all the way back to February.
Kind of regretting the silly intro now.
Of 2024. That as at that time, a communication between Aster and another Nijisanji English talent, that being Scarla Unaguni, had appeared online. This communication at the time not being verified, and this conversation between Aster and Scarla being very contentious between the two. Scarla apologizing profusely to Aster, and Aster replying, I mean, is that it? Am I supposed to be like, oh no problem, and just go about my day? Following that up later with, am I not going to get a response to this? And lastly, seriously, LOL, so you're purposely ignoring me. Upon the release of that screenshot online...
Okay, I'm sorry, I haven't seen this before. I'm gonna, as quickly as I can, skim through this. You guys can pause it, read it at your leisure, or skip to whenever the frick I'm done reading it and we're moving on with the rest of the video. Okay. So, welcome back. So real quick, I'm going to give you the rundown. From seemingly, it seems as though Aster has been feeling pretty much... It seems as though she's taking certain notes from management pretty, close to heart. She was being told that she needs to, speak up because she's pretty quiet. But she's saying that she feels a bit uncomfortable right now in the situation. Like, she doesn't want to interrupt people. She doesn't want to like cut people off or start like, doing the whole like, monkey dance show where you're just sort of making noises or being loud just for like being loud and making noises sake, yapping, so I can understand where she's coming from, but it seems as though she's sort of venting out these frustrations and not really getting a very satisfactory response from everyone around her, besides just a lot of sorries and sorry and I don't know what to say. I'm sorry and sorry, which again is kind of why personally I always in these situations sort of think to myself like, look, you're like, no matter what people say, actions are gonna speak louder than words. But in these kinds of situations, if you're trying to like help people calm down and relax, you gotta let them know. And if you're genuine, if you don't actually care, or like you're not gonna change, then it doesn't matter. Don't do any of this. But if you feel like, oh, I'm in the wrong, and no, I messed up, or I'm making you feel uncomfortable, or I'm not including you, as the newer talent, I'm not including you. Like, I feel like you should let them know, like, hey, all right, from now on, I understand. I'm gonna try to like, as naturally as possible, sort of bring you into the conversations now to give you your space, to make you feel a bit more comfortable, and hopefully naturally you'll be able to start picking up, on the vibe of the whole team, and you'll be more, we won't have to worry about the whole you being silent stuff. Which is why a lot of the times, personally, whenever I'm doing the podcast and stuff with Burrito or Chaos, if I notice that one or the other is not really able to add much to the conversation, I try to ask a question related to the topic specifically at them in order to sort of like drag them into the conversation, get their piece before moving on to somebody who's probably more knowledgeable about the situation and can sort of like go on yapping for a moment. You get me? So it's kind of like, I don't really criticize anybody for not being able to like talk, because I'm really bad at talking too. But I do tend to like try to resolve it in my own way, kind of, without giving them specific feedback that like, I don't just give feedback like negative feedback. I give negative feedback with some kind of solution. And this is just me trying to like, sorry, this is just me talking about my personal experience as like as a manager, how I would like make this kind of stuff. How you say, like, how to give constructive feedback, I guess, because it seems like Aster sort of took a lot of this to heart. But at the same time, Aster shouldn't feel bad about bringing this stuff up. It's very important that you let them people know how you're feeling. Otherwise, like, it's gonna fester. It's gonna fester. It's no cool. Let's keep playing. But there's the TLDR. If you hadn't read that before, now I understand the situation a little bit better.
Response to this. And lastly, seriously, LOL, so you're purposely ignoring me. Upon the release of that screenshot online, Aster Arcadia and Scarlet Uniguni then holding an impromptu stream together. This stream having prior not appeared on either of their schedules, and later the talents of Nijisanji English sharing heart emoji tweets with one another. This all happening at the same time that Raziel Warmonic had taken to Twitter to talk about her time as a moderator for Nijisanji English talent Luka Kaneshiro. Raziel stating she was not aware of where that particular screenshot had come from. Raziel later into the next month then releasing a document regarding Luka Kaneshiro, but also addressing the subject of Aster Arcadia harassing other co-workers, stating, I can confirm that Luka said that multiple girls were coming to him about the issue since management wouldn't do anything, and he discussed it with both Alira and I. This being another talent with the Nijisanji English agency, that being Alira Pandora. Raziel continuing, I personally told him to gather as much evidence as possible since it shouldn't be there, that being Luca's and Alira's job, to regulate this issue. To my understanding, nothing was done about it. Raziel then including this screenshot from a direct message saying another Nijisanji...
You would think Nijisanji at this point in time would have learned that they need to have a, like, there needs to be this sort of, like, parent, let's call him a parent manager or something. I don't know how else to call this. But there needs to be somebody with the authority, normally it would be like an executive, somebody higher up, even the CEO themselves, for frick's sake. Like, that would be like tending to every single talent's needs on a specific, like on a personal level. You get what I'm saying? That you could just be like, hey, what's the problem? What's going on? How do you need this? Do you need that? What can I do for you? I feel like if I ever someday get to the point where I can make, you know, my freaking like longtime dreams happen and even make my own little VTuber agency, that's the kind of that's the kind of company that I feel like it should like I would want to build. That I feel like should be a part of the whole freaking industry. Where it's kind of like there's got to be this personal level to it all. Even if, no matter how big it is, no matter how big the company is, you should have you should be creating teams that can handle everything smoothly, but still have to be able to maintain that sort of like personal touch to it. You get me? Because then you're gonna get these situations where, you know, talent tells HR person tells us, you know, administrator tells freaking private freaking assistant of the freaking CEOs, presidents of the, you know, you're never, it's never gonna go anywhere, bro. The message is lost in the wind because it's not important to them anymore.
Nijisanji Liver confirmed.
And the thing is that even if you don't want to evolve yourself, like let's say, you know, Nijisanji is too huge or too big, hire somebody and put them in that you can trust. Put them in charge of handling these situations. Oh, what's this? What's going on? You're having hey, you have a problem? You have anything going wrong? You talk to me. I'm the person. I'm the guy. I'm the lady. I'm the woman. You tell me what somebody talking smack. You tell me, and I'm gonna go set them straight. Like it doesn't matter. Freaking Luca over there is not acting bad. I'll take care of Luca. You leave Luca to me. You get what I'm saying? You need somebody.
By DM,
you need somebody that's always in everybody's corner.
After this had been made public. 2 months later, a law firm representing the parent company of Nijisanji English, that being Any Color Incorporated, sending a cease and desist notice to Raziel and stating Any Color takes its responsibility toward employees and those it manages and treats any allegations of misconduct seriously. It reacts appropriately to any allegations brought to its attention, including via personal consultations with its human resources and or legal representatives, and since April 12th of 2024, that date being after the release of Raziel Warmonic's document on Luka Kaneshiro, through its quote-unquote internal whistleblowing policy for livers. This apparently being a new policy within Any Color regarding policy around whistleblowing. And now for the first time ever, TVS is presenting those direct messages to Raziel from this other Nijisanji English liver, saying to Raziel at the time, "Thank you for your message. I've known about you and I'm happy you finally told the truth. Please do not worry or be afraid legally what they can do to you. The truth is they cannot. Don't let them silence you or scare you into silence as they've done to so many. The person in question has done a lot of bad things, not just to you, so thank you for sharing your experience." This Nijisanji English liver then clarifying, to help you with clarity, I remember that incident, it was Aster, and adding, a lot of people waited for you to tell the truth for a while because it had been an issue, so I'm happy you finally did. Do not worry about those that are sending hate. This truth in the long run will help so many people. And now here we are months later. Aster Arcadia still fully employed with Nijisanji English, as more documents have been making their rounds regarding accusations against Aster Arcadia. One individual reaching directly out to TVS, proving they had been in direct contact with a Nijisanji English liver that was different from the one that was speaking to Raziel earlier in the year. This individual forwarding on not just communications between them and the Nijisanji English liver, but further proof in regards to the validity of these communications, including providing evidence that they and the Nijisanji English liver were mutuals on Twitter, then linking their alternate Discord account and alternate Discord server, further providing evidence of their personal Steam account alongside a Throne account they held outside of Nijisanji English. This individual also...
I got a Throne account too. Just mentioning that, by the way.
Providing proof of their game accounts.
I haven't updated since
which could be verified on the Nijisanji English liver's actual Nijisanji English streams. One section between this individual and the Nijisanji English liver reading, when I had a mental breakdown and went to Twitch, it was because Aster was saying like he wants to fly me out to Japan, saying weird actual S. X-pesting my friends. I went to management, they wouldn't even speak to him. I was really considering graduating. And of course meaning that they were considering leaving the company of Nijisanji English. This Nijisanji English liver continuing on, but my manager talked me out of it. It feels gross to me, like I feel like I am hiding his behavior. Because it's not just me, it's many, many girls.
Sorry, I'm gonna mute my mic for a bit because the UPS guy just dropped off a package. Doggos are they're gonna get a little bit rowdy. Relax, babies, relax.
A lot of my friends. When being asked why management had not taken action, this Nijisanji English liver then replying, I don't know, but I assume they are scared to fire after what happened, and then citing bad PR, that being bad public relations, meaning this Nijisanji English liver believes that Aster was not reprimanded because Nijisanji English did not want anything like this being made public, even if Aster was found to be in the wrong. This Nijisanji English liver then finding out these communications had been forwarded to us, and then directly reaching out. A call then being set up between us and this Nijisanji English liver. This anonymous Nijisanji English liver then telling us they were considering speaking to us about this subject regarding Aster Arcadia, calling this the fault of the company and the individual, that being Aster. Firstly describing that many Nijisanji English livers within the branch simply stay away from Aster, especially within voice chat, either not wanting to be dragged into games or into uncomfortable conversations with this Nijisanji English liver. This anonymous Nijisanji English liver then further telling us that they had spoken to one of their friends outside of Nijisanji and that Aster had...
maybe he already mentioned this, but like, how uncomfortable are these conversations? Like, is it just like a really bad vibe check, or is it like, does she bring up a lot of really awkward things? Like, what, like, or is it just that, like, she's just been sort of like pushed off out of the friend group, so to speak, and like she's the weird one, and she's the freaking, you know what I'm saying?
Been, quote, basically been saying the exact same stuff that had been going on in my calls with him. This anonymous liver stating this is not okay, saying of their friend that this girl is a very big fan of the company and a very big fan of Aster, remarking that communications between Aster had been inappropriate and further classifying them as uncomfortable. This anonymous Nijisanji English liver then saying in another call with another girl. The liver asked if anything weird had happened between them and Aster. This other girl confirming the exact same inappropriate discussions had also occurred between them and Aster Arcadia. The anonymous Nijisanji liver...
Inappropriate? How specifically inappropriate?
Adding, I can assume this is happening to many people as I was told by another girl, this being a third friend, that Aster is doing this to smaller indie VTubers and VTubers within smaller VTuber agencies. And further hearing this from other friends that this Nijisanji English liver trusts. This anonymous liver saying that when speaking with the other girls, that before even talking to the other girls about the inappropriate conversations they had with Aster, these other girls would simply repeat the exact same experiences that happened to them. This anonymous liver initially wanting to give Aster the benefit of the doubt, thinking maybe they're just not good at communicating and speaking with people, and that he simply did not understand why his behavior was wrong. This behavior unfortunately happening over and over again. The anonymous Nijisanji liver finding out that he had been talking with numerous other girls, and then stating he would constantly say increasingly weird stuff. One of the conversations between the anonymous...
Okay, yeah, alright, you know what, way too many dots here. Way too many dots, and it's starting to make a perfectly straight line, my dudes.
Nijisanji liver and Aster, revolving around Aster asking, quote, what if you were in Japan? What if you were in Japan and I was with you? What if you...
Multiple people, and all of them say the exact same story, so all the other Nijisanji talent were avoiding him for that reason.
You were in Japan and I was holding your hand. What if you were in Japan and I was hugging you? What if I was in the hotel room with you in Japan? Would you spend the entire day in the hotel room with me in Japan? That's Arcadia telling this Nijisanji English liver, quote, oh, I bet you're so cute. Not your model. I bet you're really cute IRL. The anonymous Nijisanji English liver finding this behavior weird and uncomfortable. And upon speaking with one of their friends, Aster seemed to have gone even further with the friend, saying to them, quote, your body is so sexy, and expressing how they wanted to fly her out to Japan for inappropriate purposes. Another friend of this anonymous liver had been visiting the area around which Aster lives, Aster later becoming upset because this friend did not want to meet up with him. Aster even offering this friend to fly this girl out to Japan, totaling 3 different girls that Aster Arcadia was attempting to fly out to Japan. One of the friends of the anonymous...
He really wants to bring him over, dude.
Nijisanji Liver, not wanting to come forward with this information even after talking about all of this with the anonymous Nijisanji Liver, because she is, quote, a huge fan of Nijisanji and Aster and blames herself for what had occurred. The anonymous Liver stating at this point that in their opinion, that as a person, Aster is very, very manipulative and that he had been taking advantage of his status alongside the fact that a lot of people had been looking up to him, and then remarking that these girls simply did not know how to reply and simply went along with it. This anonymous Liver continuing to say, I can't see a world in which you invite a random girl that you just met to Japan, and that could mean anything but for actual purposes. This Nijisanji English Liver continuing saying that their silence felt that they were letting their friends down, and even blaming themselves at this point during our conversation, stating, I had introduced Aster into our friend group to play games, and this had obviously hurt friends very much, them being really, really big fans, and souring their experience and opinions. This Nijisanji English Liver also stating that Nijisanji English management had not taken any action, saying, quote, we don't want him to retaliate, so we won't want to tell.
See, this is why you need to have somebody on a more personal level, dude. If somebody was there getting the freaking, like, word from all the different talents, speaking to all the different talents on a, not necessarily daily basis, but if possible, freaking screw it, yeah, a daily basis. Hey, how was your stream today? What's going on? Tell me about this, tell me about that. Oh, snap. Like, but somebody who's actually there, you know, to care, I guess. You don't gotta baby them, but you gotta, you know, these are your talent. You gotta make sure their day is going good. You gotta make sure, how was the day? What's it, you know, like a manager, basically. What's the manager doing? Manager make sure that the freaking employees are doing their job. What's going on with the employee today? Was your job good? Was it difficult to do your job? Why were you having a bad time doing your job today? You know, it's like, and they would have told him, like, you know, this guy, it's kind of a weirdo. It's like, kind of acting up. Like, what do you mean? In what way? What do you say? It's like, what? He's trying to say, what? Like, all right, well, I tell you what, I won't say nothing. I won't mention it to him. But you know what? If you feel any more awkward situations, you tell me. Then all of a sudden, he's like, well, what the frick? Like four or five of these ladies are telling me that the same thing about this guy. Like, what's going on right now? Like, I need to, like, maybe don't bring it up yet, but like just start to build a case. Start to, you know, like look at what's happening. Try to sort of like, you know, advise them, like, yeah, you know, you tell me if anything else weird starts to happen. And then little by little, you start to, like, sort of, like, snap, like, what's the word for it? You start to figure, you start to catch these things. And you start to, like, sort of, like, nip it in the butt, there we go, before it even freaking goes anywhere.
Tell him that you spoke with us. Once again, that admission coming from an anonymous Nijisanji Liver that Nijisanji English management had refused to take any action regarding their own talent, Aster Arcadia. The accusations this Nijisanji English talent bringing to them that Aster had been harassing others even outside of the company. And the Nijisanji English Liver seeing this in action on the part of the company being damaging and dangerous to the VTuber sphere itself. This anonymous Nijisanji English Liver also remarking on this screenshot that had made its rounds earlier in the year, saying that they had originally assumed that the images were fake, but upon speaking further with Aster, realizing this is just how he talks, that he is manipulative, aggressive, and that he had sent them a similar message. That message being seen here, being forwarded from the Nijisanji English Liver to us here at TVS, Aster saying,
yeah, I mean, shoot, the way just from that clip by itself, I freaking thought I thought they did him wrong.
To the anonymous Liver, this S is extremely unacceptable and actually makes me want to avoid even doing anything with you if I'm being honest. Asking the Liver, can something improve here, or is this going to be a continued issue? The Nijisanji English Liver then apologizing to Aster, much in the same way that had occurred before between Scarlet and Aster. Aster then following that up, saying, it's fine now since you understand and apologize, and I know you would never intentionally hurt me. So once again, in review, Aster Arcadia now being accused by multiple Nijisanji English Livers of inappropriate behavior both within and outside the company. That is now over the past week, and numerous individuals have been expecting Nijisanji English to take some form of public action to reprimand Aster Arcadia in some fashion. And that is all for this short but highly important and pointed episode. Once again, this episode is not monetized, so liking, commenting, and subscribing below is very helpful, most especially in helping forward this important information to the individuals that need to hear it. Feel free to send in any of your VTuber news to our Discord, as we'll have more things VTubers say for you soon. It's taken a turn.
Honestly, I don't know what they do. I don't know what they do. I think honestly, anything less than firing the dude is just not going to work out, is it? Let's say he comes out and makes a genuine, perfect apology. And then they let him stay. I feel like people would still be mad. You know, because some people are they're gonna want him fired. No matter what, just because they don't like Nijisanji. Or they don't like him. Either way. It's not like he's gonna be like, oh, I'm sorry, and then suddenly the rest of the other livers, the other VTubers are gonna be like, we cool now. Hey, we good. Like they're not gonna wanna collaborate with him anymore. And now the audience of the other VTubers, they're not gonna wanna see him either. You get me? Like there's no win there. It's a lose-lose situation no matter what you do. I think the only answer is to fire him. Like it's just not gonna happen. You're like your attitude here, your actions here sort of like screwed you over. You get me? Like it's kind of weird. It kind of sucks. It kind of sucks that this would be like the ultimate result. I'm not saying fire him necessarily, but I don't see this like, you know, when so much of this industry is your image, you know, like you kind of once your image is gone, you're kind of screwed. I hate that, but at the same time, that's just a fact, you know. Thanks for hanging out. Like or dislike, comment, and subscribe, and become a Monodachi today. I live stream all day, Monday through Friday, so go say hi. That's all for now, Monos. Goodbye, and thanks for swinging by. Salut.